Hello, a very good welcome to you, my treasured listener and student. In case you are joining this channel for the first time, the channel is Alfonso the Rothschild Tutorials. It is a channel dedicated to helping all of us, no matter your state in life, to have a better grasp of English language, but more especially the students among us, because adequate knowledge of English language among students will empower them to instruct others in their homes and in other places where they come in contact with people. The channel is dedicated to helping students and individuals of all classes to do better in the English language. For some time now, our attention had been directed towards helping our IELTS hopefuls to have a better grasp of this all-important examination. For now, however, our energy is directed towards helping our WAEC students, West African Senior School Certificate Examination, especially the GCE variant of that examination, which will be coming up sometime this year. The channel also provides help in other areas of liberal arts, such as literature in English, government, economics, civics, Christian religious knowledge, commerce, among others. In our today's lesson, however, we will be giving some attention to the WAEC English paper, providing answers to past questions, beginning with the WAEC of the year 1988. Of course, you understand, as a WAEC hopeful, that knowledge of past questions, which are often repeated, especially the older ones, will enable you go a long way towards doing justice to your examination questions. And so, without further ado, we will commence our work for today. Remember, the first thing to do in an examination hall when you are served with a paper is to write your name, write the sender number, and write the examination number in the spaces provided for this. Then after that, you may now give attention to the questions by first of all reading the instruction. Now, today we are tackling the OBJ or objective paper, that is the multiple choice questions of WAEC 1988. I would like to read the instruction which you can see on the screen. In the following passage, the numbered gaps indicate missing words. Against each number in the list, below each passage, 5 choices are offered in columns lettered A to E. For each question, choose the word that is most suitable to fill the numbered gap in the passage. Record on your answer sheet the column lettered A, B, C, or D, or E of the word you have chosen. You are advised to mark your answer sheet only when you are satisfied with all the words you have chosen for the whole passage. An example is given below. In other words, you are to study the questions and then mark your answer on the answer sheet provided for you Usually there are spaces on the answer sheet corresponding with the number of the questions, and you have to shade your correct answers or mark your correct answers on the space provided. But before doing that, you should be sure that the answer you have chosen for all the blanks in the passage are correct before you begin to shade. A way to do this is to mark your answers first on a rough sheet. A space on your question paper will often provide a rough sheet. Mark your answers there and then read them. Insert the answers in the blanks in the passage. Read them and confirm that they are correct, that they are suitable in the places you have put them before you now begin to shade your answer sheet. And this short passage, which is an example, says, and I read, scientists are continually putting forward new dash to try to explain the nature of the universe. At the same time, they are devising new dash to study the world around them, many of which may lead to discoveries that will cause us to change already dash views. The correct options are marked bold in this table of options. So the passage you read, scientists are continually putting forward new theories to try to explain the nature of the universe. At the same time, they are devising new techniques to study the world around them, many of which may lead to discoveries that will cause us to change already established views. So for answer spaces 1, 2, and 3, the correct options are E for number 1. Answer space 1. Then E is theories. Then for answer space 2, we have techniques, which is option B. And for answer space 3, we have established, which is option D. Therefore, in your answer sheet, for instance, you are to shade E for number 1, shade B for number 2, and shade D for number 3. Now let us take a similar passage. This is section 1 of the examination. It says, probably the motorist saw the dash lorry to dash to be able to dash disaster. However, he realized that if he kept to the dash, a probably dash head-on dash would be unavoidable. The only alternative was to take the lesser risk of leaving the road. With great care, therefore, he turned sharply, dashed the road into the ditch by the dash. The consequence was that instead of being involved in a serious and probably fatal dash, the dash escaped with a few minor dash and bruises, while the only dash to his car was a bent mudguard. By dash into the roadside ditch to avoid what could have been a collision with the approaching lorry, he averted a dash accident at the dash of a few dash to himself and the slight damage to his car. In the table of options, the correct options are written in bold forms. In bold forms. Now, if you test these options on the blanks, you will see how correct they are. It says, the first one, probably the motorist saw the oncoming, that is option B, saw the oncoming lorry too late. Option D for answer space 2. Now, oncoming means the approaching lorry, the lorry in view or the lorry at sight. And then number 3 is avert, meaning to prevent. He was able to avert disaster. However, he realized that if he kept to the dash, if he kept to the road, good. If he kept to the road, a probably dash head-on dash, that is a probably fatal, meaning causing death, collision, a jam. And so this way we have the correct answers for questions 1 to 16 provided. And it continues to section B. In this section, we have a hotel is supposed to be a home away from home, out of a hotel is supposed to be a home away from home, but the one we dash was hell away from home. Initially, we were deceived by the beautiful surroundings and by the manager's dash, which was warm and inviting. After the usual dash and signing of forms, we were checked in. We later discovered to our utter dismay that the hotel dash many facilities and that the few available dash were either faulty or dash. The rooms were somehow tolerable, but there was something we could not manage: food. We complained. In fact, we ate just to dash alive, since whatever was on the dash had no dash. The services there were definitely dash, but by the time we were due to dash the following day, everybody heaved a sigh of dash. Maybe I heard the manager say, "Did you dash a nice day?" I'm thinking he heard someone say yes. He quickly added, "Please dash again." That would be, "Please come again." That is option D of number 30. Now, people heave a sigh of relief. A sigh of relief. A sigh of relief. That is option 28. Sigh of relief. Good. And then menu, a list of food items offered in a hotel, offered to customers. So when you go through this passage, you will see the correct options as shaded. People check into a hotel. So in number 17, the correct option is D, check into. People check into a hotel, meaning they book a hotel suite to spend a number of days in a hotel. Then when they leave, we say they check out. They check out. Answer space 27, that is option B, they check out. Now, we move over to section 2 of the examination. We have taken section 1, which comprises passages 1 and 2, dealing on lexis and structure. Now, the option here, the instruction to section 2 says, in each of the following sentences, there is a word underlined and a gap. On the list of options lettered A to D, below each sentence, choose the word or group of words that is most nearly opposite in meaning. So these are questions on antonyms, words that are nearly opposite in meaning. The words written in bold face in each number is the word whose opposite we are looking for. For instance, in number 31, we have Tunde purchased various articles at the big sale near Kingsway, and surprisingly enough, he dashed them all before he reached home that day. That means he sold them all. Option C is the opposite of purchase. Sold is the opposite of purchase. Purchase means to buy. 32. In this argument, Ade was my supporter, even though he is often my dash in the face of real danger. Supporter. The opposite of supporter is rival. Someone who doesn't support you, opposes you, and so is your rival. 33. I encourage my younger brother to take law as a profession. While I was that from doing the same, I was dissuaded, option C. To encourage is the opposite of to discourage. But to discourage also means to dissuade. Dissuade someone means to discourage the person. Therefore, it is the opposite of encourage. 34. It is quite customary to introduce the guest speaker, but dash to insult him. It is customary. If it is not customary, then it is unusual. That which is customary is routine. That which is unusual is rare. So they are opposites. 35. Olu was able to kindle the fire, which my father had to dash. Olu was able to kindle the fire, which my father had to dash. The word in boldface is kindle. To kindle a fire means to douse the fire, D-O-U-S-E, douse, or to quench the fire. Therefore, quench, douse, and extinguish, option C, are all opposites of kindle. To kindle means to make a bonfire. Section 3. After each of the following sentences, now choose the interpretation that you consider most appropriate. We choose the best interpretation of the sentence. That's the best interpretation of the part of the sentence written in bold face. 36. Mr. John has always managed to keep his head above water. Now this is an idiom. To keep one's head above water means that one is able to stay away from financial difficulty. Mr. John has always managed to keep his head above water. He has been able to stay away from... Okay, the correct option is B. He has managed to survive adverse economic conditions. That is the correct option and not C. He has managed to stay So, he has managed to survive adverse economic conditions. That is what it means to keep one's head above water. Number 37, the men eventually gained their freedom and decided later to get their own back on their oppressor. Have their revenge on. To get their own on their oppressor means they had their revenge on their oppressor. 38. The youths in the area have taken the law into their hands. Option B. They now settle matters without recourse to the law. To take the law into one's hands means to do something outside the law. To ignore the law and handle issues in ways that you deem necessary. 39. He went off the rails as soon as he heard of his failure in the last examination. He became disorganized. To go off the rails means to be disorganized. Option C. 40. She is eating her heart out for a sailor who is away, longing for, that she is yearning or longing for, or desiring deeply. That is what it means to eat her heart out for a sailor. Option B. Number 41. How do you hope to do it? You can't make bricks without straw. B. Afford to have all the necessary materials. That means you can't accomplish a task without having all the necessary materials. Number 42. Mary's classmates agreed to send her to Coventry. Another idiom. To send someone to Coventry means to ignore the person. Option C. That means to ostracize, to banish, to decide to have nothing to do with someone. Now we are in section 4. The options we are to pick are the ones nearest in meaning, that is synonymous words. The word that is synonymous, so the word in boldface inside the sentence. 43. My choice of a partner will be based on character, not looks. In this case, the option is appearance. Looks means the way someone appears. 44. Ade is very winsome, yet his neighbor finds it difficult to put up with him. Option A, stay with. To stay with someone means to put up with the person. 45. The girl has just come out of the fattening room and her waist is adorned with beads. The word decorated, option B, is the synonym or is similar in meaning to adorn. Also consider the word bedeck, B-E-D-E-C-K. Bedeck also means to decorate or to adorn. 46. There are some drugs that could exacerbate a particular illness. Option D, worsen. To exacerbate means to make worse or to aggravate, make something worse. So the option D here is the correct option. 47. In accordance with the practice of his religion, Roman's body was interred the day he died. Option D, buried. To inter means to bury. Therefore, interment means burial. 48. What you cannot avoid, you try to endure. Now, to endure something means to tolerate. To tolerate it. Option E. Section 5. From the words lettered A to D, choose the word of group of words. Choose the word or group of words that best completes the sentence. So, in section 5, we'll be choosing the word that can best complete the sentence. That is, complete it grammatically and make it correct. 49. Adamu is a very good friend on dash I can rely on. Adamu is a very good friend on whom I can rely on. Now, whom is a relative pronoun. It is the object of who, and then stands for object pronouns like her and him. So, on whom I can rely means I can rely on him. Option D. 50. I ought dash the letter by noun. To have sent. I ought to have sent the letter by noun. Option C. That means I have not sent the letter. Ought to means should. It means that which is right. I ought to send the letter by noun means it is the right thing for me to have sent it by noun, or I should have sent it by noun. Number 51. Toyin's fever was so acute that she dashed an injection. She had to have an injection. That means that Toyin actually had an injection. It is a past action. The fever was so acute that she had to have. That means it became necessary for Toyin to have an injection. That's option A. 52. I know of a cow that has only 3 legs, which that is a relative clause. I know of a cow which has 3 legs. Therefore, which has 3 legs is a relative clause qualifying the noun a cow. Option B. 53. Ranti speaking. She says, this is not my key. Ayo responds saying, then dash is it. The correct option is a whose. Whose is it. Whose is a possessive adjective. Whose is it means to whom does the key belong. Option B. 54. There was no meat in the market, so Sade bought some fish. So the correct option is A. So that means there was no meat in the market, so Sade bought some fish means therefore Sade bought some fish, or as a result or owing to this, Sade bought some fish. From the words lettered A to D, choose the word or group that best completes the sentence. 55. The police vehicles raced dash full speed with their sirens blaring. The correct option is at. Now the question is on collocation. Now collocation is the agreement between 2 words. The fact that 2 words are often used together to make a certain sense. A speeding person or vehicle can run or race at full speed. So race or run can both collocate with at. Therefore, option C is correct. 56. Tutu liked to read detective novels to take his mind off his worries. Off, option A is correct. Take his mind away from his worries. 57. I don't know what to do with these children. They are always fighting one another. If there are 2 parties involved, you say fight each other. But if the parties are more than 2, you use one another. Use one another. Compare between 2. The 2 boys shade the oranges between them. That means use between for 2 parties, but the 3 boys shade the oranges among them. Use among for 3 parties or more. Therefore, it is not correct to say they are always fighting themselves, because themselves is the plural of myself. It is correct to say myself, to say themselves, if it is possible to say I am fighting myself. Then if myself becomes plural, you cannot say they are fighting themselves. But here we are talking about A fighting B, B fighting C, C fighting A and B. So they are fighting one another. 58. Wale couldn't have said a thing like that. Could he? Option A. Now the modal auxiliary verb couldn't in Wale couldn't have is negative. A negative verb is followed by a positive question tag, like could he, which we have in option A. And a positive main verb, a positive modal verb is followed by a negative one. Option, that is number 59. If she had known, she wouldn't have come dash. Would she? If she had known, she wouldn't. The modal verb is wouldn't have. Since wouldn't have is negative, then the positive tag would she, option A, is correct. 60. Salary cuts could be the dash of the workers' protest. Option C, cause, C-A-U-S-E, cause. Cause meaning that which is responsible for. Salary cuts could be the thing responsible for the workers' strike. The option A, cause, has a different meaning. It means direction, can also mean program. Whereas the second one, option B, should pronounce curse, curse, meaning the same as an invective, to curse somebody, to curse somebody. And option D is to be pronounced as cause, cause, meaning rough. Number 61. Neither John nor Mary felt happy dash the incident. Felt happy about the incident. One can feel happy about something or not feel happy about a development. 62. Any parent will be pleased dash such impressive performance. With. Any parent will be pleased with. Please can usually collocate with a with. We can't say please at or please from or please for. Any parents will be pleased with such an impressive performance. 63. Stella wanted to show dash with her necklace. To show off. Option A. That means Stella wanted to be ostentatious. That is what it means to show off. Number 64. The woman dash daughter he married is his mother-in-law. The woman whose daughter, another possessive case of adjective. The woman whose daughter he married, that means the daughter belongs to the woman, is his mother-in-law, option A. 65. He acts as if he dashed a general manager. He acts as if he were, not he acts as if he is. Now, were, used here, is a verb in the subjunctive mood. Remember that verbs in the subjunctive mood are the simple past tense that is used to talk about a present situation that is not a reality, a hypothetical situation. He acts as if he were means that he is not a general manager. Option B. 66. The national essay competition came dash on the 23rd of July 1986. Option D. Came up. An event comes up because it has started. The event comes up tomorrow, meaning it starts tomorrow. Mrs. Nwokolo had dashed her breakfast before her friend came in. Had an auxiliary verb and a main verb. An auxiliary verb had and the lexical verb had. In this example, had is both a main verb and auxiliary verb. It is an auxiliary to its own main verb. to its own lexical form. So we say Mrs. Nwokolo had her breakfast before her friend came in. Compare Mr. Nwokolo had eaten. Then we now use a different past participle instead of the had. We have in option C, which is also correct. 68. If the two boys dash been bitten by the snake, they should be taken to the hospital. If the two boys have been bitten, not had been bitten, they have not been taken to the hospital. The speaker is saying if they have been bitten by the snake, the right thing is to take them to the hospital. That means they should be taken to the hospital. It is the right thing to take them to the hospital. That is option B. Number 69. The man dash missed death during the collision. Narrowly. That means he almost missed. That is, he narrowly missed death. He almost died, but didn't. Option C. That's what narrowly implies here. Number 70. I started writing at 9 a.m. It is now 10 a.m. By 11 a.m., I will have been writing for 2 hours. I will have been writing. Option C. Will have been is an example of a future perfect tense. 71. My dash to you, students, is to be good. My advice, option A. This form, advice, ending CE, is the noun form in British English. And that is what is correct in this sentence. The option B, advice, is the verb form in British English. It ends SE. So the verb form ends SE, while the noun form ends CE in British English. In American English, however, the form that ends SE doesn't exist. So in American English, both the noun form and the verb form end CE. Number 71. My dash, okay, number 72 really, not 71. The car couldn't keep pace, dash the motorcycle, especially in congested areas. The car couldn't keep pace with, meaning could not compete with. Couldn't keep pace with the motorcycle, especially in congested areas. Number 73. Number 73. I want everybody to learn the last 10 lines of the poem by heart. That means to memorize the last 10 lines of the poem. The correct option is D. 74. They went dash talking after midnight, despite the fact that they all had to get up early. They went on talking. Option C. Number 75. There was a lot of tension in the area, and it was felt that a dispute might flare dash anytime. Up. A dispute might flare up. After the verb flare, the word that comes after it is an adverb, and it is usually up. Nothing or situation ever flares down or flares in or flares to. It always flares up, meaning it escalates. 76. People are always afraid to visit Mr. Ade because he is a soldier. Good. Now, an army is the institution, a military is the institution. But an individual member of an army or the military is called a soldier. Option B. 77. I want that spoon washed. I can still see dash on it. I can still see some oil on it, not oiliness or greasiness. Number 78. Everybody has to do their homework. Everybody, like anyone, anybody, anything, somebody, someone, are examples of indefinite pronouns, and each is singular in number and takes a singular verb or a singular possessive when it is used in a sentence. So, in an example like this one, where we have everybody has to do dash homework, you use there. The right possessive adjective would be his or her. That's the most standard one that goes with everybody or any other indefinite pronoun. But in the absence of his or her, you take there, which also stands for either his or her. 76. Having worked all day, it is about time we dash back home. It is about time we went. Now, this is again another example of a subjunctive mood. Like I said before, the subjunctive mood should take the simple past tense to mean that which has not happened or is not yet a reality at the present time. So each time you see the expression, it is about time or it is high time, the verb that should come after it is a simple present tense. Therefore, option C is correct here. Number 80, at 18, Bosse is dashed to take good care of her sister. Is old enough. That's option D. 81, Obi is dashed troublesome than I had imagined. Much less troublesome than I had imagined. Now, this is a case of the degrees of adjectives. The positive degree is less than the comparative degree, which is what we are using here, which compares two qualities, is much less. That is less, much less. Then the superlative degree is most. Obi is much less than most troublesome. Obi is most troublesome. That is the superlative degree. Now the comparative is much less, which is correct here. 82. This is not dash house in the street, but it is certainly bigger than yours. This is not the biggest. Good. This is the superlative degree. This is not the biggest house in the street, but it is certainly bigger than yours. 83. I find it dash comfortable to travel by air than by road. I find it much more comfortable. Now, again, this is a case of the degrees of an adjective. The positive degree is more. I find it more comfortable. Then, that is, the positive degree is comfortable. I find it comfortable to travel. Then, the comparative is much comfortable. I find it more comfortable. Positive. Then, if it is not most comfortable, but more than more comfortable, we now say much more comfortable to travel by air than by road. 84. Dash sacrifice was it that people talked about it for years. So great a sacrifice was it. So great. That means the sacrifice was so great that people talked about it for years. And so that can also be constructed as a so great a sacrifice was it that people talked about it for years. 85. The press must cater for the needs of the dash public. Reading public. Now, the present participle, that is an ing word, all ing words also function as adjectives. So here we have reading public, reading qualifying public. 86. I hate that habit of nagging. That habit of nagging, but not that habit by nagging or to nag or having nagged. 87. After he had tried for some time, he realized that all his efforts were going to be futile. The word futile means fiasco, F-I-A-S-C-O, meaning fruitless or of no avail. So option B, futile, is correct. Number 88, Mr. Dowda's two laborers work on dash days. Option C, they work on alternate days, but not alternative. Alternate means worker A or laborer A works today and is on leave tomorrow or is off duty tomorrow, while worker B works tomorrow and the day after tomorrow worker B or laborer B is on off duty. 89. If she takes dash from her mother, you can be sure of her efficiency. If she takes after her mother, to take after somebody means to toe the footsteps of that person, to toe the footsteps of that person, or resemble that person in your activities. Number 90, please look dash my answers for me. Look over, meaning go through my answers for me. 91, Ellis said that going dash an operation is not a pleasant experience. To go through something means to pass through it. Therefore, Ellis said that going through an operation is not a pleasant experience. 92, if pupils will abide dash school rules, the tone of discipline will improve. To abide by means to obey. So if people will obey school rules, the tone of discipline will improve. So if pupils will abide by, option D. Dash inform her that I called. When she comes, inform her that I called, option A. 94, he knew dash. He knew what they wanted, not that they wanted. Option B is correct. 95, the house dash is the most beautiful in the area. The house which Femi built. A relative clause qualifying the noun, the subject of the sentence, the house. 96, dash we shall go together. If you had come early, that means he didn't come early. You didn't come early. If you had come early, we shall go together. So you didn't come early. Sorry, in this example, the correct option is C, not A. It is C because they have not gone. If you come early, C. If you come early, if you come early. All right, that's number 97. He said he forgot dash. He forgot what he said. 98. I don't like my math teacher. Well, he doesn't like me either. That is, my math teacher doesn't like me and I do not like him. 99. Eze has not heard from his sister Ada since she dashed to the United Kingdom. Since she went to the United Kingdom, Eze has not heard from his sister. Number 100, Ada has special love, that's children, so she's going to be a teacher. Ada has special love for children, so she's going to be a teacher. So that brings us to the end of our analysis of the multiple choice English paper of the WAEC examination for GCE students in the year 1988. I don't know what your impression is, but I guess you've enjoyed my company as much as I've done yours. If you have a question, please drop your question on the comment section or drop your observation there if any. You can also be a member of our community and make suggestions by going to our community chat group on WhatsApp using the number 091-333-01790. That is 091-333-01790. If you've enjoyed this lesson, please give a thumbs up to this video, like this video, and subscribe to our channel so that I can give you more. We can continue to give you more of this kind of elucidating analysis of the English language. Please, I'd like to ask you to join us in our next class where we shall treat the English paper of a year different from the one that we have treated today. I want to tell you that if you subscribe, I'll give special attention to you. I'll post special videos on English, that is special lessons meant especially for you. directly to your own WhatsApp page. Thank you very much, and meet me on our next lesson.